Welcome to DIYEasyCrafts.com. Today we're going to take a look at making a do-it-yourself Halloween porch sign. Now this particular sign is a spooky haunted house themed sign, but you can do any design you want. It's all done with clip art, which you can find on the internet, combined with a white plastic board. This is a 12-inch wide PVC board I got at Home Depot. The graphics, which I downloaded, I printed out on a Silhouette Cameo Craft vinyl cutting machine. You could also use a Cricut. Any vinyl cutting machine will do. I cut them out on self-adhesive black because that's what I had, and then I weeded that, which means that I used a tweezer and I picked away, all of the vinyl that wasn't part of the graphic or the graphic design. For the larger pieces, I then used a transfer film, a clear transfer film. This is just clear contact paper I got from the local hardware store, and that allowed me to position it exactly where I wanted it on that white board. Now what I was experimenting with here is the combination of using spray paint as a background combined with epoxy resin to really give it a cool look, a finished encapsulated look. So I spray painted orange over a circle up top, which is going to end up being the moon, and I spray painted black over the graphic Happy Halloween on the bottom. I'm going to wait for the paint to dry completely, and then when I pick away that vinyl, it'll expose, so the bottom graphic Happy Halloween should show through in the white, and the moon will also show through in white. After I peeled that vinyl, I added some additional details. I made a flying witch, also cut out on that same Cameo machine. Applied that to the moon. For the larger pieces, I used additional transfer film or contact paper. You can position, all of these features any way you want. In fact, you don't even have to do a haunted house. You could do, any design you'd like with the same technique. I added some tombstones. I made everything kind of cockeyed. I added a flying ghost, a spooky tree, and a variety of bats in different sizes flying around. Now this is a Makerpoxy from a company called totalboat.com. Really nice epoxy to work with. 2-part, you mix equal parts, 1-to-1 ratio, mix for 5 minutes. I just poured it over the whole board, and then I used a paintbrush to spread it out with the idea that I wanted to encapsulate all of that self-adhesive vinyl as well as the painted sections of the board, so that all of the details are going to be very, very long lasting. They're all going to be protected by that epoxy. The epoxy also ends up giving it a really cool glossy finish. The other thing that I did was I added a little bit of additional epoxy, and I mixed it with some yellow dye and another batch with some orange dye, and I just added some highlights into the sky so it doesn't look like a flat orange background. It doesn't take much, just a few brush coats on the upper portion of the orange, anywhere you think it would look good. Now after that, you can use a hairdryer or a heat gun. If you use a heat gun, you don't want to spend much time. This is going to thin out that epoxy a little bit. It's going to help those colors kind of merge, blend together a little bit. And it's also going to get rid of any little bubbles or imperfections that are suspended in that epoxy. Then I set it aside. I let it dry for a complete 24 hours. And the end result I was very pleased with. So it's a spooky haunted house Halloween porch sign. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I would absolutely love it if you left some feedback in the feedback section. By all means, check us out on the web at DIYEasyCrafts.com. I've got a whole page of different unique do-it-yourself Halloween projects on there. Thank you very much for watching.